All right, Candle Range Theory Trader back with you with another video going over the weekly chart candle 3. Okay, so candle 3 on the weekly chart. This does not happen often. You'll see it maybe once a month, but at the same time, it's worth it to start on the weekly. So that way, for no other reason, if you trade the daily candle range theory, you don't trade against this candle right here for the week. All right, so I'm only going to show two examples, one long and one short, because like I said, these really don't happen all that often. So, but when you do see it, it's nice to know it and possibly get a move on it. The most important, well, first off, let's go over this. So the candle one is the week of June 23rd here. Candle two, the week of June 30th, 2025. And then candle three is the week of July 7th, 2025. So we're going to go to our replay option here. And so when you identify, let's go back, we'll select the bar. So let's say we're coming to the chart on like a Monday night, and we're looking at, let's see here, forward a little bit. We're coming to the chart and let's just say this is all we see. We're going to act like this candle here doesn't exist. So we got candle 1 and 2. So you're coming into the next week anticipating a long bias because you have low, candle 1, candle 2. So what you're going to do at that point is you're looking for daily expansion candles. So I'm going to drop down to the daily chart for the week of, I believe it was July 7th, and see what we see. And sometimes Monday will just give it to you straight up, to just take off. I'm not able to go to a lower time frame like the 5 minute because this is too far in the past. But the main levels that you want to pay attention to if you're trying to catch a weekly candle 3 is the weekly open price. So I use the mark levels indicator for that. And let's see if it shows it to me. What's loading up now? Yeah, so here we go right here. And it's just going to be whatever the open price of Monday is, which is right here. So like that. So if you can get in around the open price of Monday, that would the open price of the week, which is Sunday, Monday, that is ideal because you're expecting it. Remember our start and stay rule. Once the candle starts to turn green, you expect it to stay green for the week on the weekly chart. So if I go back out to the weekly chart now, I believe this is still just Monday, and we'll go forward a couple of days here. So you see here, retrace, and it comes down a little bit and then back up again. Let me go back down to the daily to see where we are. And let's see, what is this? And that's Friday. Okay, so this was the whole week. So the best trading day for this really would have been Monday. You kind of got another continuation here. So what you can also do for daily CRTs, or not daily, I'm sorry, but for weekly CRTs, if you see another one on the daily, you see a little one right here. It's imperfect, but it did work out. Let me see here. Got candle 1, 2, 3. And this is actually the following. Well, yeah, this is Friday. Okay, so that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let me get rid of all the other candles so we can see. Okay, so this is candle 3 on the weekly chart, on the daily chart. Okay, so all of this together makes up candle 3. So even if you missed Monday, you had another chance on Friday to get in. So Monday gave you from the open about 152 pips. Friday gave you about 108 pips. So you could have got like, 70, 80 out of there. Okay. Same down here. You could have got maybe 100 out of here, out of the 150 some odd pips that it rose. Okay. But obviously, though, when you trade, if you happen to spot a candle 3 on the weekly, you can expect about 2 trades. That's 1 right here, 2 right here. Okay. So I would trade 2 out of the 5 days in your bias direction. And that right there, I would count as a good week. So we'll get out of this. We'll go back to our weekly chart and get out of the replay. Actually, let me get rid of all these lines. Okay. And then we'll go to the other one I have marked, which is EuroCAD. And this is a short example. Now, will all the weeks look the same? No, they will not. It's just these were just really good ones. So, it's about the best you could hope for. So we'll mark our high and our low. We'll do the replay option. Okay, so once again, makes it a little wider. So this week right here was candle 1 on the week of January 20th, candle 2 the week of the 27th of January, and candle 3 the week of February the 3rd. Okay, so it takes 2 weeks to set up and then one more week to complete. That's why you don't see them that often. This is a 3-week setup, 3-week trading thing. Okay, so anyway, let's go down to the daily and see how the candle 3 pattern shakes out. Remember I said the most important price level is the weekly open price. If you can get in around there, that's ideal. So Monday did drop to the close about 161 pips. And then price did break out of the range a little bit. You could have got an expansion candle on Friday for about another 116 pips, because after a big drop, sometimes you get consolidation. So after this big drop, it consolidated a little bit and then dropped again on Friday. But the bias for the whole week was short. So that was that. So I would start on Monday because remember, starting to stay. Once it turns red, we expect it to stay red. But will that always happen? No. Let's see if we can find one more that may not be as perfect. So we'll give it out of this replay. And let's try pound Aussie. I'm just going to see what I can see here. I see one here for a short. That's the high. I just want to go down to the daily chart, see how that looks. Yeah, that's pretty perfect. My point is that I don't want to. Matter of fact, I'll show you a trade I'm in right now. I'll do that. I'm in Euro Aussie short right now. So let me go to the weekly. Okay, so we have range low right here. Okay, and the range high right here for the weekly. Okay, so this is candle 1, February 16th, 2026. Candle 2, the week of February 23rd. And what I believe, okay, what I hope is candle 3 for the week of March the 2nd, which is right now. Okay, so this is the live chart. All right, but because of the, there was a war in the Middle East, like it's like outbreaking right now. So, I couldn't really get in on the weekly open because the spread was just too massive. Like you see how price closed here and it opened all the way up here because the United States just bombed Iran. So that put the market into a tailspin. But for this day, I did get in at around 50% of candle 2. So sometimes you'll see if you want to mark the mid level of the weekly candle. Basically, I try to get in near the weekly open though. If you see that here, I can go down on the 5-minute. So I'll show you where I got in. Okay, so right here, near, it's close enough to the weekly open. This was the high of the day here. Make this bigger. Get rid of those. Okay, high of the day was right here. Change the state of delivery after price closed below the candle that made the high of the day. So I took a couple entries here and then price went down. Remember, the main thing I like to see as well are fair value gaps in my direction. So you see that those gaps are forming and holding. So this one didn't even get revisited. This one here got mitigated a little bit and falling, and hopefully it'll just continue to fall. So I'm going to hold this. I'm not taking anything else for the rest of the day. And I took this based on the fact that I believe that this was a candle 3 on the weekly chart. But again, do I trade these often? No. I just don't. I don't. Okay, but that's that. So again, on a retrace, if you want to use a fib and take your entries, continuations above 50% of the candle 2, you can watch that, or around the weekly open. But like I said, this candle just had a weird open, so it's kind of an anomaly. But let me see, just for the sake of discussion, to see if I can find like one more that's a little less crazy looking. I'll try to find a long example real quick. Yeah, okay, this will work. Right here. Because I don't want you thinking if you spot a week 3, you think you're going to get a million pips. It may not work like that. So take what you can get. So this is a perfect one right here. If you can get to the other side of the weekly range, count that as a win. Okay, so here we go. We have candle 1 here, candle 2 here, candle 3 here. But if you notice, this one retraced all the way back down. So let's take a look at it on the daily once we do our replay. And actually, okay, this is the week of May 19th. So drop down to the daily. Hope I didn't overload my computer. Okay, there we go. All right, and let me see, let me go back a little bit. There we go, that'll work. All right. So Monday, if you notice here, Monday would not have been ideal for trading. Okay, see how Monday it went up a little bit and then closed down? Let me get rid of all this. Okay, this is the candle 3 that we would have suspected. This is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And see how Friday came back, right? So you really want to take your profit at the candle range high. Okay, but this made up candle 3. So your best trading day actually would have been Tuesday. You still would have got, if you held to the candle range high, that's 206 pips. That's more than enough. Don't look for all the ranges to break out, okay? Take your profit at the other side of the range and just be happy with that. You should get it within 1 to 2 days if the pattern works out to this capacity. So, all right, but that's it. So like I said, oh yeah, as far as invalidation, if the price breaks back outside of the candle range, low or high, then I would scratch the trade, find something else, maybe on the daily. Okay, you got to be merciless with these things. Okay, so if Monday doesn't work out, Tuesday hopefully, but really I'd say no later than Tuesday. You want to see some action to the upside. If it doesn't give you what you want to see by Tuesday, just find something else. Just trade daily candle range theories, because the bias for the week, it's supposed to spend most of the week expanding. So I'd say by Tuesday at the latest, if it doesn't start expanding by then, just get rid of it. Okay, so that's that. All right, but I appreciate your time and attention. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.